Good morning, my friends. Happy Wednesday. It's another day, it's another week, it's another fun time. Welcome to Silly Girl, Silly Thoughts. I'm your host, Mindful Body with Rachel B. It's me, your girl. We're feeling a little frustrated today, if I had to be honest. We're a little frustrated, we're a little overwhelmed, we're a little anxious. What else is new? If your May literally hit the ground running and left without you, I'm right there with you. It's both exciting and overwhelming, welcomed and hated. Well, not hated. I don't have that kind of energy, but welcomed with caution, we'll say. It's it's another day, but happy May 15th. Happy May 15th. We're going solo free notes today. We just have bullet points because hell, we're testing our own anxiety even further. As you can see, we're video free. Probably why I'm partially stressed. No, not really. A lot of you know that this podcast is a hobby of mine, an outlet of mine just for me. So when it comes to technology, I'm obviously way behind. My work does not depend on the technology that I have. Full-time family and marriage therapist, I am working solely through my phones and a one software program, honestly. Other than that, it's been so overwhelming and interesting to do research on computers again. I'm getting caught up in the whole laptop MacBook talk, and guys, I just want something that works. So keep me in your thoughts as I figure out what I want to buy in the next few months as we budget, save, and update. Until then, we're sticking to our goals, putting out an episode each week, recording when I can, finding some hot topics to talk about. June should be a lighter month. I say that, who knows when we get there, but June, July, August, I'm really hoping to bring in some guest speakers and some more hot topics. But for now, we're going to talk about food. What are we eating? What are we eating? Food has been such a hot topic the last few months. I feel like everyone from clients to peers to community to friends, family, everyone's been talking about the inflation of food prices. Everyone's been talking about their health. Everyone's been making some adjustments for whatever reason. The season change, age change, financial changes, things are changing. What are we doing? I like to talk about food because I myself am vegan. I started in 2019 of January. I did the Veganuary challenge. Some of us know that January brings in a time of that hashtag New Year, New Me feeling. Some of us take that opportunity to make a goal for ourselves for those 31 days, and I chose to go vegan. Prior to that, I was vegetarian for 3 months. So from October through November, December as well, I was researching, watching, studying. I was preparing for this change in my diet. Because, like any other diet and any other diet culture, nothing should end cold turkey and nothing should happen perfectly in a day. I'm a vegan who's made mistakes. If you're not vegetarian prior to moving into vegan, you're going to miss a lot of things. And there's still things I learned today. And there's still things that happen by accident as a vegan today. You take a risk eating out at restaurants. You got to know where your food comes from. That's also a hot topic I want to touch on. So when I talk about food, keep in mind I'm not a nutritionist and I've only talked about food coming from a passionate sense or even just a curious sense. It's never from a place of, you need to do what I say, I know what's best, you know me. I'm just here to talk about my silly little thoughts and open up the silly conversation to see what silly little things you guys are doing. What are we doing to help each other? How are we sharing that information? Where are we going to start talking about those big things and normalizing? Because not going to lie to you, I'm still learning that people are eating like crap. And they don't even know what's out there. There can't be ignorance about food anymore. Ignorance around food, at this point, I look at it as a privilege. If you really truly don't want to know where your food is coming from, how to cook for yourself, or where to grow a deeper connection to food, or even the community that comes with food, that's on you. In your power to learn new things. My veganism came up over the weekend. I think most of us were celebrating Mother's Day, and my sister and I hosted a little dinner the night before, a little sleepover through Saturday to Sunday, and a brunch Sunday morning. And although I'm the only vegan in my household, I'm very grateful to have family members and friends who are very open-minded about food, curious about food. I'd like to say my good eaters. because I myself was never a good eater. Growing up, I became extremely picky in my childhood. I got pickier as a teenager, and then I got restrictive in my late teenage years. If you were able to listen to my yoga podcast, you'd know that I struggled with an eating disorder through my late teenage, early 20s, and I think that's where a lot of my curiosity about vegan also started. I was part of the gym world, I was teaching yoga, I was meeting other people who were on this quote unquote health journey. You're being introduced to the mindsets of pros and cons of each type. And at the end of the day, you are your own person. My body is going to work differently than your body, and vice versa. So, as much as I like to say, hey, try it, maybe it'll work, I'm truly passing that more empowerment over to you because you're in control of your own autonomy. You have to check in with what feels well in your body. And if certain foods are not making you feel good, why are you eating it? Why? So when we're talking gym culture and gym diet, I'm thinking of the time frame of 2013 to maybe 2018, 19, where predominantly all the meals were what, chicken and broccoli. Chicken, broccoli in 20 million different ways because if anything that was a staple. Your staple food was chicken, broccoli, eggs, maybe oatmeal if that was your thing, maybe cream of wheat. Like that was it. It was very beige. It was very beige. There was no colors, there was no fun. And it wasn't inviting to me at all. Why would I want to eat beige foods? Why would I want to eat for function? That's all it was. It was only taking one component of food for function. There was no joy, there was no flavor, there was no fun. But then when I came into like my yoga mindset and a few bodybuilders, because there are vegan bodybuilders, I'd like to consider myself one as well as a vegan athlete, kind of, maybe, in my 20s. But here are some people who are excited about food, excited to share different recipes, excited to see what people were making, excited to explore different options, looking at different outlooks for the same outcome. Did you hear me? Looking for the same outcome, but in different ways. I tease my boyfriend all the time because he's like, why are you driving this way? Why didn't you go this way? Boy, I'm driving. No matter whether I go this way or you go that way, we're going to end up in the same spot. I use the same mentality in yoga. I use the same mentality in life. Just because you do something different doesn't mean we don't have to end up in the same spot. You're just going to do it your way. Obviously, stay within boundaries. I'm not here to raise ass people. I'm here to raise authentic people. Thank you for my listeners. When people approach me about veganism, yes, there was this like protect the animals, and I understand that. Big component about being vegan is protecting those animals. Know where your food comes from. My controversial statement as a vegan, I support sustainable, highlight bold that word, sustainable hunting. What does that mean? My friends, my grandmother came from the island of Puerto Rico. She loves to brag to me about how she's killed chickens with her bare hands. Good for her. Good for her. I can't even cut a Costco chicken. I see the backbone, I freak out. Gross. I don't want to touch it. I want to hold it. Live chicken. I love animals. But I will not kill one. It is just not. It's just not in my person. I can't do it. Call me what you will. So I follow this mentality of you can kill it, you can eat it. If you're just walking through Costco and picking up a bag of frozen chicken breast, you're cooking it and you're disgusted by the touch of it, you're eating it and you're like, it tastes so chickeny. What are you doing? I'll let my questions marinate in all of you so you figure out your own answers. You let me know later in the comments, but it just felt impractical. Why was I so anxious? Again, eating disorder in my mind, trigger warning. I had such a fear about food poisoning and meat. I didn't feel comfortable touching it when it was raw. I was always over aware of it when it was cooked. I was checking everything to make sure it wasn't pink. I would put my fingers on foods to check like if it was fully cooked or not, if it was warm. Like I was so overwhelmed about making myself sick. I was so fearful of this part that I just didn't eat well at all. And I don't know, I was curious. There are people who are just living on vegetables, and I don't know why vegetables felt safer to me, even though you can get sick from vegetables. Store your vegetables well. But I don't know. There was something a little bit more freeing to this idea of I could just eat beans, rice, vegetables, and feel good and look strong like the people I was seeing around me. Other athletes, other yoga people, they were just doing it. They were just eating their veggies, their beans, their grains, their seeds, living life, doing exactly like any other bodybuilder was doing. They were getting their protein. Everyone's big concern. Protein, 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 protein. You get plenty of protein. Relax. Gaston with your 12 dozen eggs. Aren't you sick of it? Um, so I tried it. I went vegan. And I'm not saying it was an easy start. I definitely took on my own challenges again. When you have such a weird relationship with food and you're overwhelmed by portion sizes and you're so fearful of being sick and you're still learning how to cook foods with yourself, which no one talks about. Anyone has to go through this. You have to learn how to cook for yourself. Even if it's basic, even if you just know how to fry an egg, make rice. My friends, this entitlement attitude we have, but helplessness, is not cute. It is not cute at all. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Want, want, want. Need, need, need. But I won't do anything. Are you kidding me? Everything is microwavable. We got air fryers. Rice cookers have been around forever. We have everything literally right at your fingertips. Go learn how to make something, please. Every YouTuber, every TikToker, there's so much information out there, so many resources to learn how to make your basics. Learn how to cook for yourself. I learned how to do it. You think my mom taught me? No. My mom is an anxious woman. She's trying to keep her house clean and in her control. God bless her. I started learning how to cook when she would leave the house. All the secrets come out now into my adulthood. Yeah, when my mom would leave for work or run an errand or go on a date with my dad, I would take over the kitchen, which is so funny because baking is so much harder than cooking. I mean, cooking, there's room for mistakes and error. But baking, if you're not following that recipe piece by piece, it's not going to happen. I don't know what it was. During the 2020, 2024 era of time, my baking was shit. I don't know what was going on. Everything I was making was coming out too greasy. Nothing was rising. I took a huge step away from baking, but that's besides the point. These are my silly thoughts as I trail off into a different topic. I digress. Bringing it back, my mom would go out. I would bake all these cool foods. And then when I became vegan, or I started exploring being vegan in the early months of like November, December, it was just taking up space. It was highlighting like, okay, I got to learn a new recipe. I would share them with my mom. My parents were open-minded to me doing this, but they were also cautious of it. They've seen me try new things. They've seen me stop a bunch of new things. They haven't seen me stick with something. And not gonna lie to you, 5.5 years vegan and we're still going. I feel great. I look great. I feel great. I'm doing a lot better than what I was. And if I don't give credit where credit belongs, I give credit to my family for embracing my different food ideas. I give credit to all the restaurants they would sit through. I give so much credit to my partner for also being a very good eater. He's open-minded to so many new dishes. He's done research himself. He has taught himself how to cook vegan dishes as I'm sitting here and thinking about it. I mean, he's made stuffed peppers. He's made me raviolis with roasted tomatoes and pesto. Like, my boyfriend's known how to cook prior to me. Prior to me. We all need to know how to cook and how to feed ourselves because it makes me so truly concerned when people don't know where their food is coming from, when people don't know why they don't feel good, and the amount of money you guys are blowing away. And I say you guys because I've been on a strict budget since February. I don't think I've really eaten out maybe more than 2, maybe 3 times since February to now May. How do you guys have this money to blow? And maybe I'm making a pass because I understand there's resources for everything. Going back to what I said, this entitlement mindset, but helplessness. There's food deliveries left and right. There's food meal prep companies left and right. Support small businesses, support friends, order catering, but order it from appropriate places. You should not be catering fast food. You shouldn't be catering barbecues every day, even though I love barbecues. There's balance to this. I looked at my dad over the weekend and I said, I really appreciate you teaching me balance with food growing up. And maybe it's because my dad's one of 8 and food was just a necessity. It wasn't this like gluttonous mindset. You had what you had. I carry that mindset into my veganism. You get what you get. There are some situations where you just have to eat the salad, eat the french fries, and you have to wait until you go home to eat a real meal. Like, it wasn't about you. You weren't thought of for the restaurant. I'm sorry. And some people apologize to me. I'm sorry. Like, we planned my birthday party and there's no vegan options. That's fine. It's not my birthday. It's not my party. It's not about me. You get what you get. And growing up, my mindset, even though I was cranky because I was a kid, my dad was like, you can have an oatmeal cookie with raisins. Oh my God, the snacks were so sad. Peanut butter on crackers, a little bowl of olives, pickles, a carrot. You could have some cucumbers, maybe a slice of mozzarella. Like, you had a snack when you got home, which could have been fruit, vegetables, or something pickled, and you waited until dinner. Breakfast was cereal. Maybe you were lucky if there were Pop Tarts in the house, but there was still this balance of, I love saying this line to clients. There's a balance between finding what's good for your body, what makes your body happy, and what you enjoy, what makes your soul happy. You have to have both. I don't want to live in restrictive eating. I don't want to go back to this eating disorder mindset of don't have that, that's bad. Don't have this, it's bad. Don't have that, it's bad. And then binging because you know damn well you want that ice cream coming up summer. You will not catch me empty-handed on a boardwalk. I want to have ice cream or icy in my hand, possibly a lemonade. Like, these are the things you look forward to. Twizzlers on the beach. Like, come on. Maybe that's just a snack for me. Maybe that's just me. Pretzels and hummus. Like, there's so much balance to it. So as much as I want to have my ice cream, I'm obviously going to eat foods that help my body. You have to eat your colors. Reds, purples, greens, blues. These are so important to your diet. Rice, quinoa, potatoes. You have to have your probiotics. We're just starting to talk about the gut. Netflix just came out with a new documentary. It's not horrible. I give it a strong 7 out of 10. I wish they didn't choose so many extreme cases when talking about the gut, because the average person, the more we talk about my friend's diet culture, I'm trying not to throw anyone under the bus either. But a lot of my friends, I'll say even some of my partner's friends, we're not cooking. We're not cooking and it's showing up. It's showing up in our health. My friends who are just moving out or going to college or just left college and came back home, like, how are we adjusting our diet culture? Because everyone's talking about meal prep. Everyone's saying, Rachel, I'm almost 30. I had to change. Oh, yeah, that meal really sat different now that I'm getting older. What are you doing to change, Rachel? I said, nothing. You guys, I've been vegan 5.5 years. My diet has been changed. My relationship with food is so much more different and so much more balanced. Are there days I don't eat well? Unfortunately. Unfortunately, there are days, things that happen. I work full time. I run around all the time. I have clients that show up, canceled appointments that happen. Sometimes I eat in front of my clients who I can eat with. Sometimes I just gotta suck it up and wait until I get home. So there's days I'm not proud of my eating, but I'm not gonna sit there and like talk down to myself. How dare you not eat that? No, Rachel, you messed up today. You gotta eat something before you go to bed, and you gotta do better tomorrow. You gotta do better tomorrow. Hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself accountable to your changes, but show some compassion. If you're a person who needs a little bit more heavy speaking, that's you. I applaud you, but I'm sensitive. I have to be gentle with myself. Meal prep, prepare, resources. They're all there. If you're not using them, you're holding yourself back. I can't help you. I could lead you to water, my friend. I cannot force you to drink. Learn how to cook. Explore some diet options, explore some foods, learn your staples. Transitioning into this inflation topic for a hot minute because people love to talk about grocery stores. People are talking about how much they're spending. People are so overwhelmed and like, oh my God, can you believe X, Y, and Z prices? And it changes still. I feel like it was a big thing a few months ago. It stopped for a little bit. Now it's a big thing again. You guys, I don't know what to tell you. That's out of our control. We cannot always control prices of food, but we can control how we shop. What do I mean? My silly thought, definitely proud of my dad for teaching this. My silly thought is that you continue to shop within the seasons, especially with produce. I have my staples year round because that's the beauty of this world now is that you can get pineapples year round, but you shouldn't be eating pineapples year round. But when you're eating within seasons and even being mindful of the quote unquote dirty dozen, these are produce and foods that are high in pesticides. And there are some where I can give grace. I've grown up in New Jersey all my life. I've swam in New Jersey waters. I don't have a third eye yet. I think I'll be okay. And there's some where I try to eat cleaner. I try to find more organics in peppers, like bell peppers. I try to be more mindful of strawberries and blueberries, I think my dad and I were talking about. But these are just things. Know what you're putting in your body. Unfortunately, we have to be mindful of the pesticides and chemicals and hormones and antibiotics. These are just things. These things are here. They're not going away. So you have to pick your poison. You got to pick your choices. You find your balance. You think it's so funny to me being a girl that had like eating issues and I was so overwhelmed by food. I found so much comfort in grocery stores because they just looked nice. I don't know what it was, but I love talking grocery stores. And when I shop, I always start with my lower end grocery stores and I work my way up. What do I mean by this? So everybody always thinks that being vegan is so expensive. Being vegan is only expensive if you're buying processed expensive things. But I was raised by my father, so I am a cheap vegan. I found resources and I found influencers who also lived within the tri state area who were also practical food eaters. As much as I would love to live in Hawaii and grow my own bananas and papaya and make a beautiful fruit spread and my own green smoothies every day, I live in America. That's not going to happen right now. Not for me, girl. Not for me. As much as I have my garden in the backyard and God knows what will yield this season, I still have to buy my own food. My staples start at Lidl Aldi. Lidl and Aldi are my lower stores. I know grocery outlets sometimes talked about, so maybe I'll group those three together. You tell me if I'm wrong in the comments below, because I love my chitter chatters. But silly thought, I start Lidl for me. My basics are always produce, grains, milk, beans, tortillas, and one little snack or two. Lidl has those chocolate covered pretzels and they're accidentally vegan if you read missing something because again, accidents happen and I can only keep track of so many chemicals that are vegan or not vegan. But I buy myself one little treat. Once I finish at Lidl, I'll move my way over to Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's is where I get some of my hummuses. I love my hummus. I love their chimichurri. I love their vegan pesto. I love their vegan feta cheese. This is where I'm just getting my specialty staples. I use vegan feta cheese in all my salads, my pasta salads, and one little block will last me a few months. When it comes to my bigger stores, my bulking shop, it's coming from Costco, and honestly, that's more the boyfriend than me. As much as I don't buy meat, and even when I lived with other people and I've asked, like, hey, I'll take care of groceries, but could you buy meat since I'm not going to eat meat? I'll still buy a thing of chicken breast for my boyfriend. When he goes to Costco, that's bulk shopping. If I would like a bulk set of beans, he'll buy me a whole thing of black beans, chickpeas, dog food, what else? And sometimes just things that we use all the time. Things that can sit in the pantry for a long time. Olive oils, vinegars, apple sauces for baking. These are things that I just kept over time. And even my baking material I've collected over time. Majority of my baking stuff is bought in the winter, and then I'll just slowly replace things throughout the spring, summer, and fall. When people are telling me how they're shopping, they're just going in blind without a plan, without an idea, and a hungry stomach. Been there too, but still, what do you eat every day? I thought this was so monotonous. And again, this is a silly little thing that I learned from my dad. So silly thought. My dad's eaten the same thing, I think, majority of my life. He has oatmeal in the morning, 2 cups of coffee, a salad at lunch with sprouts that he grows. In my laundry room, you can grow broccoli sprouts in your house, in a jar, in a shoe. Don't grow sprouts in a shoe, that's probably gross. But seriously, you literally can grow your own food in nothing bigger than a little Tupperware. That's with a P. Tupper. Tupperware. But like I said, he's eating these salads, sprouts, greens, broccoli, mushrooms, and then dinner time was changed around based on whoever was available. Because as I got older, my family members and I all worked on different schedules. So there were times that maybe my dad or my mom or my brother was home and they'd prep dinner and leave leftovers for anyone behind. A lot of the times I'd have to make my own meal because I was the only vegan in the house. It is what it is. So when I'm thinking about the foods that I make, you have to have favorites. You have to have favorites. I jokingly say in yoga, it's the same pose, just turned in different directions. When someone was asking me, oh my gosh, Rachel, all your fun recipes, girly, it is black beans in 7 different ways. If I didn't say it already, black beans in a pan, black beans in a freaking pepper, black beans in a taco, black beans in a burrito, black beans over rice, chickpeas roasted, toasted. You can do it, you can make it. Falafel, it really isn't that hard. It isn't that hard. I've perfected my black beans recipe. I can easily put that in anything. I've perfected my toasted chickpeas. Toasted chickpeas you can make any way. People have made chocolate covered like chickpeas. They taste like nothing. Taste like nothing. Sauteing vegetables is not hard at all. These are little things I've just added over time. How do you make it fancy? Adding different colors. I just made a dish not too long ago. Again, silly thought. I love to make a good meal when I'm sad. When I'm not having a good day, how are you making yourself comfortable in your uncomfortable feeling? For me, it's making a good dish. I want to make a good Greek salad with some vegan chicken nuggets as my specialty. I want to make, I just mastered a little bit, not really mastered, but I'm practicing making more tofu recipes. So taking a block of tofu, pressing it in my tofu press, and then instead of cutting it into cubes, I've been breaking it apart with my hands, giving it more of a rougher texture, just like popcorn chicken. Bread it with a little bit of cornstarch, some spices, fry it up in the air fryer. They're crispy. On top of a tortilla, add some cabbage, red, white, top it with little onion, bell pepper cut up. Take some cashews, throw them in the oven or in a pan with a little oil, a little chili powder. Wow. Few basic pantry items, and now you have a beautiful little sandwich. I'm trying to lean into a little bit more of an Asian style meal, more like banh mi. I want to go back into pickling. Like, the more you grow on your staples, the more powerful you feel your dishes. There was an amazing documentary on Netflix, and her book is out too. I just looked it up a second ago. Let me bring it back up so I have the title right. Salt, fat, acid, heat. These are the 4 components to a perfect dish. Salt, very straightforward. Your fats, oils, avocado. Your acidity, lemon juice, lime juice, oranges. And your heat, those spices, peppers, chili peppers, jalapenos. Like, putting all 4 of those components together creates a really good meal. And I think we all enjoy watching people eat because if we didn't, we wouldn't have it all over TV. My favorite show, Somebody Feed Phil, every cooking competition there is out there. People are so creative with their dishes, and if they look too complicated to you, find something simpler. Remember I said a second ago, when I was looking for vegan resources, everyone was telling me, watch these people who lived in Hawaii, Costa Rica, Florida. These are island, like, it's too warm. I live in New Jersey. I live in New Jersey, and even though I'm close to the beach, I'm not growing pineapples in my backyard. I've seen someone do it in a pot in their house, but not here. This is practical life, practical living. And for me, practical is canned beans, fresh produce. Farmers markets are starting around me. I cannot wait. Support your local farmers. Grow food yourself. Moving into that next topic because I'm trying my best to stay on my timeline, notes free. Grow your food. There is something so exciting about growing your own food, and there's something so simple about it over time. It's built this sense of respect, not only towards myself, but also towards the life. Plants are living things. Animals are living things. There is awareness to this. We've lost this type of awareness. I shared a book on my Silly Girl Silly Thoughts Instagram page, and if you were able to guess the cover of it, it's Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmer. Kimmer? Kimmer. Kimmer. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I'm not good with these kind of things, girl. But I'm trying. I started reading this book last summer, and I haven't finished it because obviously I don't get to read during the year, only the summertime, because your girl's working way too hard and reading other things at the moment. But Braiding Sweetgrass, each chapter is about a different plant, and it gives this idea of balance that I truly enjoy. You do not live in a hierarchy. As much as we want to press this idea of you are above everything, you are a human. You are a living being among other living beings. As much as you want as much as you want other living beings to respect you, you don't respect other living beings. Like, it's just become such a hypocrisy. What I love about Braiding Sweetgrass, there's this relationship to these plants, relationship to these foods, memories to these foods. My dad's grown raspberries all my life. My grandfather's grown raspberries. Growing up, I've always had a raspberry bush in the backyard. I've always walked outside of my backyard barefoot. I've picked raspberries with my dad, flicked off an ant, and ate it. That's a memory. I told my boyfriend coming into this home, and as we expand our garden from last year, because each year we grow with our knowledge, each year we grow with more intention for our garden, each year we're willing to try a new thing as we get more confident. I asked for raspberry bushes. I have 2. And a blackberry bush and blueberry bush. These are all little things that I've had in my backyard as a kid that now I have in my home as an adult. It's important to me. It's important to me to keep those memories for myself. It's important to me to have that type of routine, to have something to look forward to still recreate that feeling of peace. There was so much peace to just sitting outside and looking at all the raspberries grow with my dad and picking them right there and eating them. And even if my wiener dog was like, "What are you guys eating?" He doesn't like raspberries. I don't know why he keeps asking for them. Being able to grow some of my own food and being mindful of resources too. I'm very privileged to have a backyard. I'm privileged to be able to have the resources and money to have the plants that I have. And a lot of my plants were also gifted to us from previous people who just couldn't maintain their garden for whatever reason. Getting older, moving. We have a fig tree. I never thought I'd have a fig tree. It's grown 2 figs. My boyfriend wanted 2 peach trees. We got peaches. Or maybe I wanted the peach trees. I think he just wanted a tree. He's like, "Which one do you want?" Peaches. But knowing where my food is coming from and this excitement to look forward to something, it's just so nice. It's such a nice feeling. Having the routine and the stability for myself, even getting up each morning, letting the dogs out. As the dogs are running around, I'm walking to the garden. I'm checking on my seeds that I've started. My seeds that I start inside are moving outside and then moving into the ground. There's this process and care and relationship that is so empowering. A lot of my friends are gardening with me. A lot of my clients are gardening with us. We're all sharing our successes and moments of failure because plants can die. It's okay. I lost all my cucumbers on a sunny day. They fried. But when you're limited in resources, I said a second ago, my father's been growing sprouts in a laundry room. I'm working toward building a small little sprout area in our basement. Because sprouts are packed with such great nutrients, they grow in like a week or 2, and you can literally grow it in a jar. You just need sprout seeds and water and a jar. That's it. No dirt. No more excuses. You have to learn. What happened to throwing a bean in a paper towel and seeing it sprout? What happened to the excitement of seeing something grow into something bigger? I'm growing sunflowers again. If you want to grow a flower, I always say I'm the worst with flowers, but my hardiest flower is a sunflower. And we as people, as humans, as living things, start off in something so much smaller than a seed. Smaller than a poppy seed, than an oregano seed. And this is not one of those pro-life chats. Trust me, I'm not that kind of person. You do you. That's not my business. But Watching something grow is so exciting. I've grown mammoth sunflowers taller than me, and there's something so exciting that everything grows. Everything has purpose. Everything grows into something bigger and better as long as you wait, you show consistent care, and you live in that present moment. Appreciate it for what it is in the moment. Take it for what it is when tomorrow comes. That yoga mindset, it shows up everywhere. My silly thought. As I was saying, because I don't want to babble for more than 40 minutes if I had to be honest with you. I'm trying to be mindful of my time and yours. What are we eating? Are you growing your food? What are you growing this year? I want to know. We got to start a group chat somewhere on the internet zone and share garden photos because this is so exciting. I'm hoping to volunteer over the summer. I'm working out my schedule to get some free days to just see what I learn. Shout out to my friend Ian if you shared his he shared with me what he learned about gardening with lettuce or like planting lettuce, that two seeds in a hole 2 inches apart. And you can't see me, but I'm holding up a little peace sign. I was like, Ian, that's such a cool idea. Peace, two seeds, 2 fingers, 2 inches apart, 222. These are just silly little things that we could teach each other because, again, gardening is both exciting, but it can be a little defeating. Things die. Some seeds don't sprout. Sometimes something can grow forever. Sometimes something looks dead and it grows a week later. I didn't think I was going to grow figs. This tree looked like it was dead. My boyfriend's like, maybe we gotta take that tree out. I don't think it's growing. I gave it a week. One bad rainstorm and this thing is growing leaves bigger than my face. We got two little figs. What should I name them? Dabble into gardening if you'd like to. The one where we're growing lettuce you can eat. Grow an herb garden. Buy some basil, oregano, rosemary. Have some plants in your house even. Sprouts only need a jar, water and seeds. When it comes to meat, that's on you. I don't eat meat. I don't care what you do. You do you. Know where it's coming from. Although my family eats how they eat. I'm not judging. I don't care. It's not my issue. But they still practice eating maybe one day out of the week vegan. Balance out your food. Maybe you do one day vegetable, one day meat, one day fish. Who cares? Try something new. Expand your palate. It's pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to upcoming food festivals this summer. I'm excited to see what new things we're creating. I'm happy and excited to go back to classics I've had that I just don't make at home. These are treats. I'm not saying don't eat out, don't embrace your restaurants, but embrace things that are fulfilling, not just fast food. Your gut is hurting. I'm here for happy gut, happy life. I'm here to eat the rainbow. We need to eat less beige, more color. I want you all to learn how to make something new this summer. I keep joking with my boyfriend, everything's starting with an S lately. It's salad, salsa, sandwich summer. I just got a new, the full star chopper? Holy crap! I can't wait! I'm making pico, I'm making salsa, I'm making the best Texas caviar, I'm making pasta salads. That thing has changed the chopping game for me and makes things so easy. Everything's right there at your fingertips, my friends. Take advantage of it. You can do it in your control. I'm saving recipes on TikTok left and right. I have a folder. Find creators. Find things that are exciting. Work within your budget. I'm still living within my calendar of produce. Summer season again is coming. I'm about to go hit up some farmers markets to see what's around my local area. Change within the seasons, my friend. Adapt your diet with the seasons. Like I said, salsa, salad, and sandwich summer. I'm trying new recipes. I want easy, accessible things. I'm going to the beach. I'm still working full time. You got to find places to eat. You got to find time to eat. You have to prioritize your eating time. Whether it's 3 meals a day, one big meal a day, who cares? Eat when you're hungry. Listen to your body. Stop when you're full. My friends, that's another episode of Silly Girls, Silly Thoughts. We're opening up the conversation of what are we eating? Again, the comments are open for questions, for criticism. We should go deeper into this topic if you'd like to. We don't have to. If there's something or a topic you'd love me to talk about, don't be afraid to share. I'm here and I'm listening. Let's have some silly little thoughts together. I'm your silly girl, your silly host, Mindful Body with Rachel B. This is another episode of Silly Girls, Silly Thoughts. I wish you all a great rest of the day, week, and weekend to come. I'll see you all next time.